Hi, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy life to join me. I do appreciate it. Hopefully, notifications are on, so you're getting these mad pings as I post all day throughout the day at the most inconvenient times possible. These are the things I say. I may not write any scripts, but I tell you, we could probably rewind some of these videos, and I do try to stay on point with some of these messages that I ever so subtly try to convey, you feel me? But I hope that you guys are good. And actually, I wanted to break midday and have this kind of random vlog, you feel me? Because I feel like the ongoing theme currently for myself has been give credit where credit is due. It's pretty simple. I like it. I'm working with it and I'm going with that. I've tried different methodologies in my life, all these different things. Don't want to bore you too much, but yeah, we're going with that, all right? So, credit where credit is due. A lot of news or airtime has not been given to our current commander in chief, in case you forgot who that is, or who that was, or who that still is. I mean, his name is President Joe Biden. You feel me? He's still our president. We still have a vice president. So the same woman who has literal $1 billion in the bank account. We haven't heard much from her because she's probably out living her best life. Shout out to VP Kamala Harris. Where are you? Like, what happened to you, lady? Anyways, so I do really want to give that credit. So right now, just a couple of hours ago, Joe Biden he single-handedly pardoned the most nonviolent criminal offenders today, 39, and he commuted roughly 1,500 sentences, all of them coming from the pandemic era and their time served and now back on house arrest or whatever, however that works. But it is single handedly like the biggest day in presidential history that a president has commuted and moreover pardoned nonviolent criminal offenders from their crimes. So, again, listen, I don't even want to go there. Crime is bad. Crime you should not do. You feel me? Like, that's without saying. Especially violent crime. Like, come on now. Like, there's no way to argue these things. Crime in and of itself is bad. But, there's a but there because we are, after all, sentient human beings who are victims of our circumstance, and all of the time, even in theory, as we'd like to idealize a kind of way where we can always make the right decisions and where we're always going to do the right thing, that's false. People make mistakes. I often say victim of their circumstances because we don't live in an equal world. Crime is not equal. People that don't commit crime because they don't have to commit crime. People that commit crime, in my argument, because I feel like they most likely, in most cases, have, in most instances, no other way. And, that is only a reflection of ourselves. Crime is a reflection of ourselves. Isn't that kind of scary? Like, the nicer you are to people and the more giving you are and the more that you take care of people, the less crime there will be, right? So, I mean, I think we can all agree on that. It's a pretty simple common sense thing. I think that, like, seriously, there's no argument to be had within. I mean, unless like you're pro crime for some weird dumb reason, you don't want people to commit crime. You feel me? But the reality is we've lived in a world that has for far too long really sort of not taken care of its constituents, and as a result of that, we currently do live in a country with the highest incarceration rate in the entire industrialized world. So, I mean, these things do touch close to home, and there are a lot of people in jail in this country. Again, I've said it before, like they're far more valuable to all of us outside of private for profit prisons that do nothing except exacerbate and, in most cases, only perpetuate a life that is even further embedded in crime than it was when that person or individual went in to begin with. So shout out to Joe Biden. You feel me? Like the old guy is making some moves, you feel me? I mean, for all intents and purposes, I say metaphorical moves because he's an old guy and really can't move around all that much. Oh, anyways, and it's no bag on him, right? I will too one day be that old, and if I'm lucky, there'll be some guy in his mid 30s talking in AR or the VR meta world about me. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. Like, I can barely move. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm a walking joke. I get it. You know, but nonetheless, credit where credit is due. And I feel like commuting 1,500 sentences means that 1,500 families are going to have a pretty decent Christmas. You know, I mean, again, I am more of an optimist. I do like to look at things from a positive sort of way, right? Because it's just so easy to go all dark and weird and Vader. You know, it's almost too easy. Like, and things that are too easy are often things that really aren't worth it because they really have no intrinsic value. It doesn't require any sort of brain power, you know? You know, what does require brain power and what does require a human self is to really, you know, put yourself in other people's shoes and understand that these are all nonviolent criminals and that 39 of those close to 1,500 people have been completely pardoned of their crimes. Now, again, you know, as an optimist, as somebody who truly believes in the human condition, I feel like human beings are born with nothing more than the best potential. You feel me? Like, for real, it's an empty blank canvas. It's just too often the case that this blank empty canvas, you know, starts getting painted by painters and products that don't live up to the standard of how long you want to take care of that canvas, you know? And since it's really the only one that you got that you know of, it's probably in your best interest to take as good care of that as you possibly can. You feel me? And so I'm just saying that, like, 39 people really made some terrible mistakes in their life, and they paid, you know, tremendously for making those mistakes, and now hopefully they can experience a little bit of peace, you know, a little bit of human condition that doesn't require being behind bars or getting treated like a kid your whole life. I mean, there's a lot. It's a complicated thing, but again, publicly I say what I mean, and I've yet to take anything back. You know, I'm not that kind of a person. These are all impromptu talks. All of these words come from my soul. No, that's just a real big joke there, but you feel me? Like, seriously, I just it's good stuff. I like reporting good news. I like giving impromptu talks about things that matter. You know, I mean, this is vlogs about nothing, and it can be argued that none of it matters. But I hope that some of it does, and I really hope that there are enough young people out there that can understand people make mistakes, and you know they're held accountable for those mistakes, sometimes not in prison, sometimes, you know, here on the surface prison. I mean, you know, pick your battle. I'm just saying it's really forgiveness and compassion and kindness and second chances are all something that fall within the purview of the human condition. And I'm just such a huge fan of being this shell of a person. You feel me? Like, I mean, why would I not be? You know, it's kind of what I'm doing. It's kind of my experience. So I want to make the best out of it, you know? And in that regard, it's just always been in my best interest to try and bring out the highlights of what otherwise could be construed as some extremist weird point of view that really, you know, doesn't take away from the fact that I really feel like crime is something that it can be completely eradicated overnight. Like if we really all wanted to make that choice, we could do that. We really could. There's nothing stopping us. Crime is in fact a really easy thing to stop. I mean, you got to treat people better, and you got to give people access to basic things that they need to survive and to play this game, right? So unfair to like welcome players in on a game and just sort of expect them to perform and not give them any set of rules. They have nothing, they're like just everyone else around them has an infrastructure, generational wealth. They have all of these cool, really good things going for them. No hate on them, but for the rest of us, it's kind of like it'd be nice to have a little bit of an introduction. It'd be these are the things that if we went out of our way to do and make happen, we would see an almost immediate impact on that thing called crime. And then maybe a random 30-year-old person, I'm almost 40, wouldn't have to come on YouTube and complain or, highlight the fact that our current cool sitting president just commuted 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people. So, yeah, go Biden. You feel me? It's always these presidents that do all these things at the end of their sentence. Can you imagine if, we're going to have the same conversation in 5 years? And I'm very afraid that the people that will be pardoned are the very people that I feel like are far removed from being American to begin with, because Trump has already talked about how he plans on pardoning all of the accused and alleged members of the January 6th riot or whatever. And, that bothers me. That bothers me. So today, let's just, like celebrate the idea that democracy is not yet died, and that our president is leaving a pretty good legacy, I'd say. Good for the old guy. So I hope that you guys have a really good day. Bye.